Oh boy. Can you move? Hello, my dance friends, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're gonna clean my house. It suddenly dawned on me that fall is here, Ren Fair season is upon us. I am fortunate enough to be joining Shunyata this season. I was kind of bouncing around my room, looking at my costuming, and realizing that it's a hot mess in there. And I'm going to be organizing some of my bedlas, my belts, and even some wigs. I realize that everyone has brains that work very differently, and organization means different things to different people. I know that I like to have certain categories placed together. I would never put an entire outfit together with accessories and keep it all together because I like to have a little variety and to be able to use all my pieces. I would prefer to have my bedlas in one place. I'd prefer to know where to go for my belts that could accessorize gig costumes or that I could wear to teach classes. And I've recently amassed quite a few wigs for various theatrical performances. So I've realized that those are just randomly placed all around my room and they need to be added into that categorization so that I don't lose track of what I have and so that they hopefully last a little bit longer even though they're all super cheap wigs. These will be just some tips and tricks that I've learned from talking with other dancers, costume designers, and just looking at tutorials online, honestly. All of these resources will be linked below. If you have any resources you'd like to share, I would love to get more organized and hopefully this will inspire someone out there to try some things out. Organize your stuff. So without further ado, let's venture into my costume mess. One of the many messes that is costuming in my house. Got my coffee, ready to just... Let's go. Oh, excuse me, are we interrupting? So, please don't judge me. I mean, it's just terrible, right? Oh God. Okay, this is really more embarrassing than I thought it would be. There's all that. Look, my shirts are sort of better. Some of you may be saying to yourself, Blair, you invest so much money and time in these beautiful costumes. Why on earth would you just throw them in the drawer like a pair of socks that are easily replaceable and not at all important? Yes, that's what I was wondering too, which is why we are together today. So you can see I have random wigs here and there all over the place. Yep, yikes. Oh God, it's just belts. Belts, all the belts. This is what I'm working with today. So I've gotten some containers of various sizes. I don't need that. So I've gotten containers including ziplock bags for wigs and rubber bands and clips for belts if needed. I have a lot of them, so I feel like this project may need a lot of extra work. So this is my gorgeous new costume from Devin Allfather, who creates costuming under the business name the Cor Chorum, and it's part of the inspiration for this. I've been needing to organize my stuff for a while, but look at this. I mean, this is my new costume for the Renaissance Fair season, and it's absolutely gorgeous and detailed. So I'd really like to have something for each of my costumes. Excuse me, sir. Could you? Yes, thank you. And I also need to go through, there's some old stuff in here. There's some unfinished projects that I really need to sort out as well. Stuff that I will probably never wear again, even though it's sentimental. Oh my gosh, that definitely needs a bin. Stuff that I will never wear again, even though it is super sentimental, but that needs to be organized now so I don't just go to one thing and look for all of the things. My plan is to put these into separate categories. Category 1, bedlas that I will most definitely use and need their own bin. Category 2, bedlas that are incomplete or need more work. And category 3 is basically stuff I'm just going to get rid of or hand off to other dancers that may get use out of them. So let's get started with this project. Okay, so I'm starting the piles. Wish me luck. Cor Chorum. I guess I have another category and it's tops that I would wear to classes or that I would use for specific performances. So they're not necessarily bedla material, but they're important. He made this one. Sentimental, but not performance worthy. This was a top from Harden. I wanted a costume from Harden for so long, and I finally got this beautiful Matahari stylized top, and it's one of my favorites. Sorry, I just noticed that there's a missing jewel, and it's because I haven't been storing it correctly. There you go, my love. This was made by Leora Designs, a friend of mine from Rose Movement Studio. We were also in Perennial Dance Company together, the troupe that April Rose created for Rose Movement Studio. It's one of my favorites. I added some pieces to it because of various performances. This has a belt with it, which I have a feeling is in my belt box, so I'm gonna go grab it. Found it. This was one of the first tops that I absolutely loved. My friend Kat made it for me out of pennies and fishing line over a decade ago. It is totally falling apart. Very sentimental. My dear friend Carol Collar made this for me. It's the coolest thing. She made it out of a belt that I had gotten at the thrift and made it out of this awesome fabric that I absolutely love. And then you clasp the belt in the front and this hangs behind you. So it hangs like this. All right, now that I've thoroughly made a mess, I'm gonna box these up. I'm gonna put the bedlas in their own little plastic box. I'm going to also encase the random tops that I would use for performances or classes. Like this I got when I was in Perennial and I love it. It's just a velvet vest top. I would probably fold this up or roll it and put it with other black tops. And then the tops that I need to work on, I will probably put in their own box and separate out from this drawer where I'll be putting all the stuff that I would like to use. This is a top that I made a while ago when I was dancing with Tech Attack, Stacey Lizette's troupe, and it definitely needs some work because I haven't worn it in a while, but I am going to stick it away for now and not worry about working on it just yet. And honestly, I think I'm going to put a few more pieces with it. This is a random piece that I made for performance at Migrations. This is a piece that I made to match Caitlin Aoki, a friend of mine from Rose Movement Studio, a beautiful dancer, and a dear friend of mine who dances with our local favorite band, Kev Bev. And we made these to match, so we had matching fabric. That is it for my bedlas and tops. We're done. So these are not all gonna fit in this drawer. I am going to put all my cohesive bedlas in here, and then I'm gonna have to find a different place for the more random items. Okay, so the bedlas are put away. I am going to find a place in my closet for the more random tops. I'm gonna save this bad boy because I'm gonna be wearing it at the TRF very soon. Now I'm going to put all my maintenance stuff in a different box. This will go with my other random fabric and components for costume making, which means that all of this is stuff that I will be getting rid of, which is sad because they're all meaningful to me in some way. Let's get to the belts. Okay, so not the best belt taker care of person. I have random pieces of paper in here. What is this? The grocery list. So I have a bunch of things in here that could be costumey. They could just be random belts. I'm going to roll up what I want to keep and place them in this clear bin so that I can see everything in there, know where it is. Even if I have to dig through, I'll know where I'm going for it. Oh, like a penny whistle from high school. So same situation as before. I am going to be making piles of things that I want to keep. Whether they're costumey or not, I think I need a discernible belt area. I'll make a pile of stuff I want to keep that I will put in here strategically, as well as a pile of stuff that I either want to deconstruct or get rid of. Don't tell Leora this was in here. This is another belt that needs its own bin. This is another Cor Chorum creation. Got these labyrinth knockers. I love them. It's a good thing I got all those boxes. And then there's things like this that I might want to deconstruct to use for costume pieces. This is one of my favorite belts as well. Tribal Fiend in Australia made this for me. Also one of my favorites, made by Black Bowen. Should put that somewhere special. Same with this guy. Lauren Czechia made this a long time ago. Oh dear. This is another cat creation. It's got lots of random charms and things on it. Because I don't have things organized, I don't wear it very often, so I forgot I had it. Okay, so now that the sorting of the belts is complete, I'm going to organize them in here. I don't really know if I will ever use this, but I had this belt since high school and there's something about it that I really love. It's very 80s looking and I love how thick and woven it is and I can't get rid of it. I don't know why. I don't even think I wore it that much in high school or college. I just can't get rid of it because I feel like it's going to be useful someday, somehow. All right, there it is. I can put this back on my shelf and do the wigs. Ziplock bags. I don't have enough wigs that I feel like I really need to label everything, and some of them still have their little, it's Halloween at Goodwill. This is for a Medusa piece that I'm about to do. I've never spray painted a wig, that's a first for me, but I do want it to survive. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to take the end of the wig, a long wig like this, and I'm going to kind of twist it, keeping it long, and then I'm gonna open and just kind of stuff it in there and then burrito it. And then I'm just going to gently stuff it in this guy so that it keeps its shape. Not that it's a super nice wig, but I want it to keep its roundedness and be full. And if I can get these guys to shut, then that's one wig. I guess I could write Medusa on the outside. I'm not gonna worry about that right now because again, I don't have many wigs. So for something like this, even though it is a cheap wig, I don't have a lot of money to spend on wigs. So I'm gonna do the same thing for this guy. If you have these hairnet things, they are great. It doesn't have a little insert here. This one is not super nice, it doesn't. So instead, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the other one. And I'm gonna take the bottom, roll it, and then stuff it in there. And then I'm going to put this guy back around it eloquently somehow. Yep, nope, yep. Stuff it all back in there. Somehow pull my hand out. So I'm gonna do that for all these guys. I'll keep this guy out for one of these, and the other one I'm probably going to stuff with some paper towels and then do the same thing where I try to wrap it on itself and then put it in a Ziploc bag. I am kind of creeped out by these. All right, so now that I have all of my wigs kind of ready to go, I'm going to put them in this guy, and I might add those headpieces that I found in the belt box as well, just so I know all the headgear stuff is in here. So here's what's left over. This is stuff that I have to find a room for somewhere in my room, probably in my closet. I'm gonna stick the belts back up on my shelf. There's a nook for it, and I'll probably organize those books so I can stick the kind of miscellaneous belts. There they are. Also up there with the regular belts. And then let's look at how the drawer looks. Just realized that flipping these might be a better idea. Yeah, I like it flipped. I know that I could just label them, but it's easier for me to kind of look and see and associate that way. So I'm gonna keep them like this. And I think even though it looks a little cluttered in there because they don't fit perfectly, I'm happy with how this has turned out. That's it, guys. Thanks for joining me for my room cleaning today. I have linked all of the costume designers mentioned in this video down below, as well as the resources that I used, videos, tutorials to figure out how best to contain my mess and ensure that my costumes and accessories have a longer lifespan. And hopefully this will inspire you to create new ideas to organize. If you already have a thorough organization system, I would love to hear your tips. Please comment below. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to make more videos like this for you. I wish you luck with any organizational projects you have going on. Thanks for joining me today, guys. My hair. Is that gonna stay? Oh boy.